You share a major win with a friend. You expect a high five, maybe a celebration. Instead, you get a smile that arrives just a fraction of a second too late. They say the right things, they congratulate you, but a comment lands slightly wrong. The enthusiasm feels hollow, heavily composed, like they are reading from a script rather than feeling the moment. It leaves you with a very specific, uncomfortable tension. You start questioning yourself, wondering if you're being paranoid, or if you completely misread a perfectly normal interaction. You are not imagining it. Psychology has documented exactly what quiet jealousy looks like, a predictable architecture of subconscious defense mechanisms. Because jealousy is an automatic reaction to a stimulus, it follows a strict chronological timeline. Once you know exactly what to watch for in that timeline, behavior that feels invisible becomes impossible to ignore. The timeline starts at the exact millisecond you deliver your good news. The human face is wired to respond to incoming information long before conscious thought can intervene to control it. Genuine happiness for another person produces an immediate, unguarded, positive response. But if someone feels threatened by your success, you will see a micro-expression, a flicker of displeasure or discomfort that leaks out before social conditioning can suppress it. What you are observing is called the gap. It is the visible fraction of a second required for a person to internally adjust between the threat they actually feel and the supportive role they have decided to perform. Because true joy requires zero composition, a delayed, artificially assembled smile reveals a mismatch between what they feel and what they've decided to perform. Now advance the timeline to the first 10 seconds of the conversation. In this window, the jealous brain has registered your success as a sudden destabilizing loss of social equilibrium. This diagram illustrates what happens next. You and your friend start in balance, but your achievement violently tips the scale. To fix this, they use a subconscious strategy called minimization deflection. They won't insult you directly. Instead, they use passive phrases to chip away at your win. They might say, "Oh, my coworker did something similar," or they reduce your success just enough so they can feel equal to you again. Sometimes, instead of minimizing your news, they take a different route. They suddenly share a seemingly superior story or achievement of their own. Psychology calls this social comparison reactivity. It is an automatic reflex to a perceived status threat. When someone feels destabilized by your success, they immediately produce evidence of their own to close the gap. The most reliable tell for this behavior is its precise timing. This pivot never happens at a neutral moment. It arrives immediately on the heels of the positive news you just shared. When a peer instantly turns your non-competitive moment into a contest, they are not trying to bond with you. They are defensively scrambling to re-establish their lost status. Advance the timeline again to days or weeks later. The lingering threat of your success continues to mutate how they interact with you long-term. This chart tracks how they process your ongoing results through a mechanism called attributional sabotage. They cannot credit your effort, so they block that path. Instead, they frame your outcome as a product of luck or circumstance, saying things like, "You always land on your feet." This subconscious undermining bleeds into their advice, too. They offer guidance that seems supportive on the surface, but it inherently lacks a crucial piece of information, a missing gear, ensuring their direction won't actually help you pull ahead. Their final tell arrives when things don't go your way. If you mention a project you are struggling with, they suddenly lean in, engaging with your setbacks with an attentiveness they never produce for your wins. This specific interest in your difficulties is a clear signal of competitive satisfaction. Your difficulty temporarily resolves the psychological threat created by your original success. Despite these subtly toxic behaviors, quiet jealousy does not come from malicious bad people. It comes from people in pain. These behaviors are generated by individuals whose own unmet needs and personal insecurities make your success feel like evidence of their own inadequacy. Your success acts as a mirror. Their defensive reaction is a reflection of their own self-doubt being broadcast back at them. Understanding this architecture allows you to stop personalizing their reaction. Once you see the pattern, you lose the urge to shrink your own achievements just to make others comfortable. Keep going. Keep building. Let your results be the ultimate response. Share this with someone who needs to trust what they've been sensing. Subscribe to Mind Decoder for psychology that helps you read every room you walk into. Let's keep decoding the